I come here to see my son and see how he's doing. But they won't let me in to see him. They won't tell me nothing about him.
Are you concerned?
Yes, I'm concerned and how he's doing. He's been beaten up by the guards or what's happened to him. And I feel as though the hostages were families were notified, and I feel that the inmates' parents should be notified and be able to see their boys out here. I feel it's not right for us to have to suffer and worry about our sons like we're worrying now about them. If they're eating, if they're being beaten up, or what's happening to our sons. That's what I'm concerned about. I want to see my boy to know that he's all right. I don't know. My heart goes out for all the parents, not just myself, but all the other inmates that's in there and don't know how they're doing.
The last you heard from your son? When you last heard from him, was there any indication of something happening? Why did they say you can't get in to talk to him?
I don't have to answer.
A real analysis of it, that's all.
You
just couldn't tell that much, Jim.
What do you think will be your major conclusion out of this?
Well, I think some of us have had separate interviews with prisoners and with guards. We had some separate interviews with guards and prisoners, and I think a number of us hopefully will get together and assemble the information. We've been talking constantly together, trying to put pieces together, the different facts together, trying to make a judgment on what lines up and, with the other person's facts.
What's your own assessment, without having the others to confer with, but certainly you've made your own observations. What can we say about the assault and then about what happened afterwards?
Well, one thing, we don't really know enough about the assault at this stage, and I don't know that anyone really, including the investigating authorities, really know precisely what happened in the assault, where the bodies were, where the injured persons were. I think, as you know, the coroner's report seemed to indicate, even at this stage, some confusion, although that is rapidly clearing up at this stage.
Are you going to talk to the state troopers that were on the assault?
I hope so. I think the gentleman you have to start with would be Major Monahan.
Will another trip up here be necessary, or will they come to Washington to testify before the committee?
I would think that they would come before the committee. You have some, you just have a lot of static or haze or stripes across it, and you just simply it needs a lot of attention, that's all. And people, you got a B on your glass. But you have a lot of attention must be given to the film, identification of the troopers, what they were doing.
Impressionistically, though, just what did it show? Understanding that you...
Not a great deal at this point.
Did you see troopers firing?
No,
or
I didn't see it.
Inmates on the tape? Hostages?
Well, because of the canisters dropping down, because the electricity was cut off and they went on battery power, and they didn't have the power that they had before. There are a number of technical reasons why this occurred, at least as we're explaining.
Are you able to make any findings, draw any conclusions at all from this film?
No, I cannot.
Did they indicate to you that all they had was an hour's videotape?
Well, now the hour is I don't know how much actual time. I'm guessing an hour. I was in there about an hour.
But was there any indication whether these were selected excerpts, or they just took a chunk?
This was everything.
Oh, this is everything they
This was everything they had.
Mr. Keating, how would you rate this film as evidentiary matter in a kind of priority way? Is it really grade A prime priority that represents this film?
I think in its present state, it's raw film. It has to be worked out panel by panel, corrected in the sense that I think they can take out some of the fuzziness. They say they can, but in its present state, it doesn't mean a great deal to me.
Well,
but I think it could
when those
eventually.
technical things are corrected, do you feel that it will present the real story of what happened inside Attica?
I just don't know. I rather doubt it. I think there's more than just those few minutes of the attack. That we'll have to cover the total episode at Attica. I think it's a matter of days involved. The angle of shot, I don't think, was capable of recording everything that occurred. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it does develop.
Did you talk to anyone who was part of the, say, the hardcore of inmates who were in revolt?
I talked to one of the gentlemen who indicated last night that he escorted the commissioner back and forth, and on at least one occasion. Now, he wouldn't indicate to us whether he was part of the leadership or not.
Right, but was he in the yard at the time of the assault?
Yes.
And did he indicate how the hostages died?
No.
You didn't ask him about that? Or?
Yes, but he didn't indicate, said he didn't know.
The same prisoners who were involved in a rebellion, and as long as you have that confrontation, restructured, all of the hostilities on both sides, which developed during this period, have an opportunity to come into play. And so we brought these reports to the attention of the authorities, and we felt that some way has to be found. Some way has to be found to structurally put into the facility at the level of the cell block guard inmate relationship a way of observing or to ensure that possible physical abuse does not occur. And we raised the possibility, and indeed made the suggestion that it should be considered, that cell block monitors should be installed, or that is, persons should be brought in, either some of them from the correctional facility staff, but I think it is the feeling that it would be better if it was a group of volunteer citizens, or perhaps volunteer lawyers, who during this transitional period, and you must remember, gentlemen, that our mandate is to be concerned principally during this transitional period, not that we will walk away from our responsibilities thereafter, trying to determine of all party relationship. And as all of you know, if any of you are and too frequently expressed, but at the lower level, in a police court in a small town, or in this case, at the inmates as of that date, and we urged very strongly that writing paper be immediately made available.